So, in this video, we're going to talk about 2 things that make you a magnet to an avoidant or someone who is narcissistic. And you're more vulnerable if you're in a dynamic with someone who's narcissistic, and you're less likely to be able to spot these things in yourself if you've got yourself into that situation where you're entangled with somebody who cannot see you, understand you, who disrespects you, and all of these things, right? So in this video, we're going to shine a light on those things, and you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's definitely me. And I know that you'll probably feel like that because I've coached thousands of people, and in almost every case, these 2 things are true. Okay, so once you can see it, you can start healing it. And the first thing is being able to have the awareness. So hopefully by the end of this video, you're going to be able to know these things about yourself. And probably you already do, but we're just going to dive into it a bit more so that you can understand and piece these things together. So before I get into this video, I just want to say, wow, so many people want to have a breakthrough that the Breakthrough 2025 program sold out in less than a week, which is like amazing, because that's never happened before in my in all the times that I've been selling programs. That's the first time that's happened, and there is a massive need from you guys for wanting to have a breakthrough. When you're sick of your shit, you're going around in circles, you're stuck on someone, you don't understand why, you want to be able to put yourself first, but you can't, and it's torture when you're in that place. And I know, because I've been there before, and you've seen it. So what I want to do instead is create an overflow group. There is only 8 spaces, and we start in October, and it'll take you to the rest of the year. Now, group work is powerful. Okay, so the previous group that sold out, they get 12 one-to-ones, and this group doesn't get that. You get weekly group support, and you get 3 one-to-ones. So it's still the same support package, but just set up differently, because I simply don't have the space in my calendar anymore to add any more one-to-ones than this. So if you want to go on a group journey, and bearing in mind this group will become very close, very special, and you'll witness other people's transformations as well as them witnessing yours, which is a very powerful thing, then you can find out all the information about this and how to apply for one of the 8 spaces in the link below. Okay, so enough about that. Let's talk about these 2 things that they make you magnetic towards someone who might not ever be able to see you, understand you, meet you where you want to be met. And those 2 things are the inability to say no, so the people-pleasing thing, which is a deep fawn survival response learnt in childhood, and the deep need for external validation in order to feel good enough. Okay? Those 2 things are always present in these situations with someone who is either highly avoidant and you can't get rid of them and you don't know how to let go. You're probably feeling these 2 things. And with someone who is narcissistic, it's worse, because you really do get tangled up in the tricks and the manipulation and the mask that someone who is narcissistic will wear sometimes. And that leaves you in a state of this operant conditioning, right? Where, you've got the breadcrumb and you're like, oh, finally, he sees me, she sees me, whatever, they see me. And now I feel safe and, oh, good, we're going to be able to get somewhere. And then they take it away and they're distant, they pull away, they give you half of what you want, not all of it. Like, they make you feel amazing, then they make you feel like nothing. If you've got this deep need for validation, you're going to be drawn to someone like that who it's familiarity, isn't it? Where you've been starved of it in your childhood and not learned how to validate yourself. And by the way, the nuance in this, is that everybody says that you need to learn to validate yourself. You need to learn to feel good on your own. You need to learn to love yourself and all this kind of stuff. And it's really wishy-washy for people who have not learned that language and not understood it. And the fact is, I don't completely agree, because in order for you to learn how to love yourself, you have to be able to have been shown what it's like to feel validated. And that comes from somebody else. This is what should have happened with our parents and with our caregivers and the relationships that we had growing up. But most of the time it didn't. We didn't get that co-regulation. And so we go into our adult lives and everyone says, you need to learn to love yourself. And you're like, what the fuck? How? How do I do that then? And this is what I'm saying, is that you have to learn it through relationships. And so you know that on some level. So you beg for it with people who starve you of it because that's what you're used to. And there's a part of you that really wants to be seen and really wants to be loved, and you want to heal so much. And yet we find people who feel familiar more than people who feel like maybe we can actually feel safe with these people. Because familiarity feels safer than transformation, which is why people put on hold doing something different, choosing someone different, and speaking up, right? So those two things, in short, the people-pleasing thing felt safe once upon a time, and it's deep. Like, it isn't just a matter of like learn to say no. Like your whole nervous system will tell you not to say no. Your whole body will tense up when you try to speak your truth. This is the nervous system regulation that needs to take place slowly and gradually and over time and in a safe container with safe people. If you try and do it with someone who is clearly avoidant, right, it will just throw you right back into believing that it's not safe to speak your truth. And it's almost like these people are magnets to us because we're magnets to them, because we both get the triggers, the mirrors that actually lead us to a transformation if we're willing to see it. Okay? So although you might think, oh, how can I make this person drawn to me? You probably do, because you probably have this need for wanting to be seen that you've had for all your life. And the way out of dynamics like this is through safe relationships with platonic people and friends and family who do see you and do make you feel safe, so that you learn what it's like to feel validated and safe and seen, and you know what it's like to be able to say no. And some people just literally haven't had that experience of being able to say what you really think, to let someone down, to disappoint someone, to, all of these things feel so scary to the nervous system. And whenever you're faced with someone who is consistently disappointing you, you're still in people-pleasing mode, right? And it never feels like they're pleased with you. That's the ironic thing. When you're a people-pleaser, you honestly can't count the number of people that you genuinely think are actually pleased with you. The ones that you're people-pleasing usually aren't, because they're never pleased with anything. You know what I mean? So I think it's being able to see these two core wounds, and they both come from a nervous system place of feeling unsafe, either expressing your truth, letting someone down, saying no, asking for your needs to be met, and so badly wanting to feel good enough and feel safe to be you. Yeah, so those two things together are like a recipe for absolute magnetic attraction towards someone who is programmed to take. Yeah, when you've been giving, the dance has always been that you end up close to people who take. So it's the same. It's like, it's not necessarily that there's nothing wrong, really, there's nothing wrong with you. This is just like a normal response to the life that you lived and the programs that you were basically, through no fault of your own, designed and built with in your childhood. Yeah? These are the things that you learned and started to believe. So when you start to challenge that, and by the way, this does not happen overnight. It doesn't happen through a quick realization. It doesn't happen through, oh yeah, get it now. Good, I can change it. It happens through actually getting onto the court, living on the field, not on the sidelines, like throwing the ball in and hoping someone catches it. It's like, no, I'm going to play. I'm going to play at this life game. I'm going to do the thing that's hard. I'm going to say, no, this is what transformation is all about, right? This is why I did the Breakthrough 2025 program, because it's all about people who are willing to take action that feels uncomfortable. And this is it. This is the stuff that feels uncomfortable. So, yeah, I thought I'd share those two things. Let me know if that resonates with you. And if you'd like to go on that healing journey, if you'd like to have a breakthrough, It won't be what you think. It's not necessarily going to be easy, but it's going to be being able to see your blind spots that have actually kept you stuck in a narrative that leads you to people who keep you stuck in the narrative. And once you take ownership, you take control, everything changes. So it's all about combining the nervous system awareness, your programming, and then putting that onto the court, right? Living it, living the embodiment of the change that you want to be and becoming the person that you want to be. But it's also about co-regulation and having the experience of being loved and held exactly for who you are, where you are in your life, no matter what comes up, because life's messy. It's okay to be messy. It's okay to be all over the place. It's okay to not have it figured out. It's okay to literally have a meltdown and still be completely sane, right? There's nothing wrong with you. So if you'd like any more information about what I do, or if you want to apply for the Breakthrough 2025 group program, you can find out how to do that in the link below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.